Hi, my name is Dana Arnett, co-host of Wicked Marketing, along with my partner, Carlos Cepene. You can find more information about us and our business on LinkedIn, or if you have any questions, email us at info@wickedbionic.com. Subscribe to Wicked Marketing on Apple Podcasts and write an awesome review for us. We're also on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Play. I wanted to talk today, had an interesting experience. I belong to a business mentoring group, international group, and we have a roundtable every other month at a friend's house, one of our colleagues' houses. And we, business owners, it's male and female, but this happened to be a group of female business owners. We talk about our businesses and we have great conversations and talk about struggles, or we problem solve, we mastermind. If anybody else out there masterminds, I hope you find it as helpful as I do. Carlos and I talk so much between each other, but it's so nice to have people that don't know your business and aren't on the inside of your business that can give you perspective, and it's always very useful. So we were together a few days ago, and somehow the discussion started to be about marketing. And it was interesting because five of us and 4 people were having difficulty with their marketing. And these were small business owners. And they, one particular person had difficulty because she just couldn't get the company that I want to say that did right by her, but they actually knew what they were doing. And so she was hiring, because of a tight budget, individuals who had little bits of information. Like in this particular case, it was around advertising. And they said they knew how to advertise and remarket for her. And she got really stuck because they didn't have all the talent that they said they did, and there was not that much money to be paid. And a few other people had other issues around marketing and not feeling like they were getting what they paid for. And it's so interesting to sit there because by the grace of God, they look at me as the professional marketer, and the fact that we have an agency and many of them know Carlos. And so it hurt my heart to listen to the fact that people are not feeling like they got what they needed in marketing, and they don't group me in that group, but they were asking for advice. So, Carlos, what would you say if somebody didn't have a budget, but they had a website, but they needed to get their voice out there, or they had great products, or they had a downloadable e-course that people could buy?
Yeah.
Like, what would be the best way for somebody? Because like I said, people are jumping in and they're reading an email by somebody that says, I can do your SEO or I do your marketing. And then they sign up with them, and then they're disappointed and the money's gone.
Well, there's so much to talk about this.
I know. It's hard.
Here's the thing. If you're going to have a business, you need a marketing budget. Let's just be realistic.
I agree.
Like, there's no way. I mean, there are ways. I call it the pyramid, right? It's either time, effort, or money. If you don't have money, you have to put in time and effort.
Right.
Or effort over time, which means if you don't have money to market, you really need to create opportunities that are marketing opportunities, meaning you have to be able to put in your time to go to conferences, to meet people in meetups, and you have to be really good at learning and really good at training yourself in sales, right? So it's time, effort, or money. It's just how it is with business, right? Any combination, but you must have 2 at the very least. So there's a couple of things that I would tell someone with a smaller budget.
Yes.
Right. So if you don't have any budget, you're going to have to spend it yourself. You have to do it yourself, and you have to do the time and effort thing. If you have $200 a month, don't waste $200 a month trying to go national. Don't throw it at Google Ads. Don't, be strategic about what you're going to do with your $200.
Be successful small,
and start very small, right? So there's things that you can do that are at a very micro level. So don't expect the results of people that have 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 with $200. That's step number 1.
And I think to that point is the idea that there's one way to market. And so you either have 10,000, you have 200, but there's only one way to market, so I have to market like that. It isn't. It really is money determined, right? Because that's what's great about marketing. There's the flexibility, like Carlos said, to Pick a small market and start to build from there.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? When you are at the lower budget levels, there's things to realize and to be honest with yourself about when you're going out there and marketing. A marketing person costs money,
Yep.
right? And there are people out there that do it on the side, that do it, after their work hours, that do it as a side little business that they have.
Or one
to
part of
supplement
marketing, and they
or
don't
whatever.
do everything.
And not to put those people down, but those people think that they know how to do something. So I'll give you an example. If you're a carpenter, right, and you spend 1 hour a day doing carpenter work, it's going to take you much longer to understand how to build a piece of furniture
YouTube videos,
in an effective
learning,
manner,
yes.
right? Just think
Yes.
about all the YouTube videos you would have to watch, all the experience that you get by that hands-on cutting of the wood and fixing something. You gain that over time,
Right.
over experience, over time and trial, learning, right? Because we're human beings. We're not born knowing everything in
Right.
the world. You learn through experience. So if you have someone that is offering you the world in marketing and they do it on their spare time and they were effective for somebody else, that doesn't mean they're going to be effective for you,
No.
right?
No.
So one of the things to think about is, and this is something that Dana says that I love, is you cannot abdicate responsibility. You cannot hire a marketer that does it on the side, maybe a couple of hours a day, that tells you that they're great at doing social media ads, and you just give them the money.
Do my even if it's
Here,
a
do my
full-time
marketing.
person, here, anybody, any agency like ours, and the agency's bigger than ours, to say, here's the money. You said you're going to do ads for me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the ads.
Yeah.
And I think to the point, and I know there's so much more to say that you'll have to say, but with this particular person, there was a professional. I respect somebody that says they're a professional that knows how to do this. And instead of, I said to her, nobody knows who your audience is better than you, because she's successful already, in her field. And I said, nobody knows. You don't have to have a marketer to kind of create a target market for you. But what you do need to do is give them who your target market is and let them implement that. So if they know how to create a Facebook ad and an audience, tell them who your audience is. Don't let them go, search all of the United States.
Okay, let's talk about that use case, right? If you have, let's say, $800 a month, $1,000 a month to market, and someone comes up to you and says, let's put it in Facebook ads. I know how to do Facebook ads. You don't just hand over the money every month and then wait 8 months for things to happen and then go, that didn't work. That person didn't know how to do their job. That is abdicating responsibility.
Yes.
What you have to do is be honest with yourself and know that $800 is not going to get you very far at a national level. It's not going to get you very far by fishing in the ocean.
Right.
Right? So
that's like $30 a day, is it?
Yeah, something like that. So think about it this way. If you have the $800, instead of trying to go national for 6 months, pick a market. Pick a small market, right? Because you know who your clients are. Let's say that your clients are 5 out of 10 clients of yours are in the city of Los Angeles. Well, it's much better to spend $800 in the city of Los Angeles than it is to try to spend it across the United States.
Or even California, or even Southern California.
Yes.
The
analogy of the ocean applies everywhere in digital media. You think that because you spread your money across the entire ocean, you're going to catch the best fish. No.
You'll be lucky if you catch one fish.
Well, especially when you know that 95% of the oceans of the world do not have any fish.
That just messed that whole thing up.
Because most fish are within 10 miles of the coast.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it from that perspective, right? Think about it from that perspective. What is it that is going to bring that fish in, right? So if you know that it's within 10 miles of the coast and most of your fish are caught in the California area, right? Then that's where you would go fish.
Right.
So spend your $800 with that person. Yes, maybe. If they've been effective, who knows? They may know what they're doing. They may not know what they're doing. Marketers are marketers. And a lot of marketers think that they know how to do things because they learned it on a YouTube video.
Right.
Or they did it for themselves. But they haven't had the time and experience that needs to be there in order for you to be able to pivot, to learn, to shift your strategy on the fly to make things happen. That's not to say that you can't make things happen with $800. You can make things happen, but you have to be smart about it, right? So if I know my people are in LA, 5 out of my 10 people are in LA, right? And I know that they love to go to Starbucks and they love to shop at Target.
And they're 30 to 40 years old.
Well, and they're 30 to 40 years old.
Right.
Those are all things that just having them in your brain is doing nothing for you.
Right.
Those are things that you as a business owner know about your customer that the marketer may not know. The marketer is going to just go out there and try and get you
an
people.
audience.
But you can be more effective. You're not making the job of the marketer, right? Because a lot of people go like, well, they're the marketer. They should know how to do that, right?
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
Abdicating.
It's your money.
Abdicating.
It's your money
and your business.
It's your money and your lack of business, right? So you have to look at your marketer as a team member, as someone that's there to help you. So while there's a lot of people out there that think that they know how to do marketing, there's also people out there that know how to do specific things in marketing, right? And they may be doing it on the side. Could be, right? They may not have the experience to get you value for a prolonged period of time. They may be able to get you clients for 6 months or 3 months. And then because they don't know how to pivot and they don't know how to learn from data, all of a sudden, oh, it worked for 3 months and now I've been paying for 9 months and it's not working for 6 months.
I think you should spend more money.
Yeah, because that's going to be the answer.
Right.
That's going to be that.
It's like a bad relationship, bad marriage, and I think I'll have a baby. That'll make it better.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So those are the things to look at, really, and it's let's create a micro target or an area where I can really test my messaging, test my connection with people, see what's going to resonate with people that I know that have expressed an interest in what I do. And it's heartbreaking to see all these struggling small businesses.
Heartbreaking. Well, and also, I think one of the other things that this isn't heartbreaking. This one annoys me only because I know is when somebody says, it's been a month and a half and nothing's happened. I haven't gotten any sales. And then my next question is, how much are you spending? In this particular case, it was $200. I think it was at $12 a day. $12 a day, and I said, "Where are you marketing to?" And it's basically, California. So I don't even.
Do you know how many people there are in California?
Do you know how many people there are in Los Angeles?
You know how many times you have to reach someone for them to recall your brand?
Right. So
people are seeing up to 10,000 ads a week.
No doubt.
Between 4 and 10,000 ads a week. You think that your $12, which makes them see your ad once in 1 week, is going to work when they're seeing 10,000 of them?
No.
Well,
and that's why one of the things that I said and we were discussing was, I said, and I think to your point about doing some investigation and learning yourself, if you don't have the money, then I want to say this. When you start a business, there's those of us that start a business and we just say, I'm going to start selling stuff, and maybe friends have bought, so now you have a business. And then there's the strategic, I think, because we both had, big careers in entertainment, and then we came together, almost 6 years ago. We started a business with a business strategy, and part of that involved marketing and having marketing dollars. And so, what we do still to this day, what we do is every time a client pays, 20% pulls off the top of that and it goes into the marketing budget.
And it should be 30.
I know it should be 30, but come on, Carlos, I need to make some money here. But it's a business. It was 5% in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was 5%. So, but it was still a percentage of something. There was something to play with, and we didn't start right away. It took a good 6 to 8 months for us to even just have anything that wasn't $200, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing. As a business owner, you need to plan for some of your revenue to be targeted towards your marketing.
100%.
Because otherwise you will never grow.
Right. You won't grow. And because otherwise it's just
You
you
can't
and
just
selling.
rely on word of mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, there's cases where that happens.
Yeah,
but it's a 1%.
Well, I'll tell you, we both learned, I think, the hard way, but thank God it didn't go awry. But Carlos and I knew so many people when we came together, and had so many contacts in so many different areas, and we've spent our first year and a half getting business and doing business with people that we knew from referrals.
But referrals tap out,
and that's where we were. A year and a half in, we were like, so now what? We hadn't really been like real business owners on our own, really trying to grow something in the way that we were attacking this together.
As a business.
We
both came from corporate.
Right,
so
yeah, but I'm saying this is yours now. And so we looked at each other like, what do we do? So we've been there. Been there. And we had to really start thinking, okay, if we don't want it to be just Carlos and Dana in a room in 5 years, we better figure this out. And thank God over the course of the last, 3.5 years, we have figured it out, and we have employees now and we have marketing budgets, but it takes time, but you have to be willing to be where you are.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? So when you're looking at your marketing strategy, you cannot just say, I'm going to hire a marketer to do this. You are a participant and an owner in your business. You cannot abdicate responsibility. You are the knowledge base, and you are what's called the institutional knowledge. You're the one that knows what's worked thus far, whether it came from friends and family or not. You know your product, you know
what resonates,
information about your market. So don't be afraid to share that. And then the other thing is, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right.
So if something hasn't worked for 2 months, sometimes it takes 3 months. It depends on the information of the amount of information, the data that you've provided, and the ability for the marketer to be effective.
And
right?
you know what I think is a great thing is after a month, you can say, can we sit down together, we'll do a Zoom call or whatever, and can we go over the reports? Show me like who our audience is, how they're reacting, because you'll learn, number one, and then you can also guide and see where it's off track, because it's like hiring a salesperson and saying, okay, I want you to do sales for me, get us business, giving them no guidance, no niche that you have that you want to go towards, no target audience, and then 6 months later saying, you didn't get us any business. Well, you didn't. We didn't help you get us any business. We didn't guide you. So there isn't anybody better, as Carlos was saying, that knows your business than you.
And that's the thing, right? So placing an ad is called media placement, right? So hiring someone to do media placement for you doesn't make them responsible for what is called a conversion, for people actually buying your product. Because when we still do media placement at a larger scale. But at a smaller scale, we did media placement. And I remember we had one client that we did media placement for that said that marketing was ineffective, right? Digital marketing was ineffective, remember?
Right.
And they said, just give us a certain amount of money. I think at the time it was like $1,000.
I think we said we'll spend $1,000. Oh my God, I'd never say that now.
Yeah. Spend $1,000 and
I think we said 2 months or something silly. Yeah.
And as soon as we started spending, they started seeing conversions and they were blown away. And they're like, what's happening, right? So one thing I remember that client came up to me and said was, a big part of what you do is bringing the right people to me. That's your responsibility.
Right.
However, once they're with me, it is my responsibility to sell them. Right?
He understood.
He understood that, because if you're hiring someone just to do media placement, which is buying ads on your behalf, their job is to bring you the right people, the people that are willing to buy.
That's right.
But if your text on your website is bad,
or you ship your product and it's crappy,
your product is crappy, or your website doesn't work, or it loads very slow, or when they walk into your store, the product that they were offered through the ad isn't there. You know,
That's not on us.
I
Yeah.
had a big client that used to sell in a store in Beverly Hills, right? And he would post all the pictures of all the models of this brand of polos on his website, all of them. He only had 3 in stock at the store.
That's
So
misleading.
when people bought the shirts online, he would have his staff write them an email and say, "Oh, we're actually sold out of those, but here's other 3. We'll replace it with one of these 3."
That's bad customer service.
How long do you think that lasted?
Yeah, not very long.
Not very
It's
long.
not cool. So yeah, so you are responsible on the other side, and that's what's great about marketers. We can give you suggestions and advice as to why it's not converting when we get them there, if we're just doing media placement. But it is your job to see that the product and the service is available.
Own your business.
Own your business.
You may not know how to market, but you need to own your business because it's your customer.
100%. And my favorite phrase: do not abdicate responsibility. So we'll leave you with that. We hope that helped. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Thank you for listening today. Don't forget to subscribe to and share Wicked Marketing on Apple Podcasts and write an awesome review for us. We are also on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Play. See you next time.